So I've got 63 stops in total, but more than halfway done. And you know, the best thing about it is not this formal space here, but really all the other people who come out. I'm going to talk a little bit here. We'll do what I call questions and attempted answers. And afterwards, I'm happy to sign books. I don't want to read from the book. I've always thought that's kind of silly. If you can read, presumably you can read the book yourself if you want to. I'll talk a little bit about why I wrote the book and what I hope will come out of it. And then we'll hang out. If you're a shy and introverted person like I am, I definitely encourage you to meet somebody else who's here. The first thing we need to do, I'm going to need a volunteer to creatively represent your state. You've got some Sharpies. Well, that's great. It takes a long time. Sounds like, come on, everybody. So I'll just bring this to you. Got some Sharp. What's your name?
Jane.
Jane?
Right. She might have her own Sharpie.
The first question that often comes up is, these days, why bother writing a book? Like, what's the point? Because you know, we live in this beautiful digital age where you know, we can go tomorrow and write a blog post about what happens tonight, and we can publish that instantly. We can get it out to tens of thousands of people or more, and there's no editors, there's no gatekeepers telling us what to say or, you know, approving or disapproving. And if we want instant feedback, we can get that, you know, with Twitter, Facebook, site comments. Instead, it kind of begs the question, you know, why bother writing a book? So I thought about this a lot, you know, when I was going through the writing process, and I realized that books were always something that were very special to me. And when I was growing up, I read a lot of books, and I could think of probably at least 5 to 10 books I had read that really changed my life. As great as the digital age is, I couldn't really think of a lot of blog posts that changed my life. And I certainly couldn't think of any tweets that changed my life. You know, just reading through TweetDeck and you're like, wow, it's amazing, I'm a different person. I still believe that books are special, and books at least have the potential to be a little bit longer lasting. So, you know, I really like books, and that's why I wrote the book, with the hope people will read it and say, you know, this was a good book, and I read this book, and then I thought differently about some things, and I made some changes in my life. So the goal is that people will read the book and be inspired to take action, you know, to create some kind of positive change. So it's not for me to say whether that will happen, or not for me to say whether it will change anyone's life, but you know, it's good to have a goal. It's good to know why you do what you do. In the face of relentless pressure to conform and pressure to avoid risks, how do we craft the life of our dreams? And if we want to do something different, if we're a little bit uncomfortable with that, or we say, like, we have our own ideas, we want to, you know, choose the path not taken, then we often encounter this resistance. And we encounter this pressure to conform. Why I wrote the book, The Art of Non-Conformity, is to say, you don't have to live your life the way other people expect you to. You can do good things for yourself and for others at the same time. It's not a false choice.
So you've been on book tour. This is stop 39. What surprised you on this tour?
That didn't happen. I don't know if I've had a lot of surprises. I really didn't have a lot of expectations, you know, before I left. I was like, this is my first book tour, so we'll just see what happens. The thing that has definitely been the most interesting is all the people who come out. And so in each city, we just have a really diverse crowd, such a fun group of people, young, old, all backgrounds, entrepreneurs, corporate people, you know, everything in between. And so that's definitely the most fun thing.
I'm curious about your writing life. How much do you plan your articles in advance, and how much do you revise each article you write?
Second question is almost easier. I would say I revise everything. Probably spend as much time revising and editing as I do writing. In terms of planning, I guess maybe it's also a mix. Like, I have some things that I'm planning that I know, you know, what I'm going to do, and I know more or less what it's going to be about. But then every once in a while I get like some spontaneous idea, or somebody writes in with a question, or something comes up, and then I just kind of go off with that.
What helps you to write when you're on the road? What helps you focus on writing?
So I'm always working from a lot of different places, and one thing that's helped me is I don't really have a time schedule. I don't like have a, you know, from 8 to 10 in the morning I'm going to be writing and then I'm going to do something else. So I don't really focus on a time schedule, but I focus on deliverables instead. So in my case, it's like, you know, every day I try to make this habit of writing 1,000 words a day. So no matter where I am, you know, no matter what's going on, I'm trying to do that. It's like a self-imposed deadline. So it's not every day, it's not like 7 days a week, but I try to do at least, you know, 6 days a week. So, you know, just having that focus in front of me, whether I'm on an airplane or, you know, traveling somewhere else or at home or just wherever, I'm trying to, you know, think about what I need to produce and what I need to have out there.
That's great. All that travel time gives you thinking time, too.
Yes, it does, which is just as important as the writing time,
Totally.
I think.
What advice do you have for people who want to write?
Start writing.
Yeah.
Don't wait.